Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood and you are watching The Political Vigilante. We've been talking about this pandemic, what the financial ramifications are going to be, and a stimulus bill that gives crumbs to the citizens of the United States, but a $4.25 trillion bailout to big companies on Wall Street isn't going to make it any better. It's going to make it worse. It's actually going to be the biggest theft, worse than what happened 10 years ago from the housing crisis under Obama. This is going to be worse. And you know who's saying it? The head of BlackRock. A wave of bankruptcies, surging taxes, and Americans harboring lasting scars from coronavirus lockdowns, the head of the world's largest asset manager warns of a grim outlook. This was actually in Market Watch and it was reposted in Yahoo Finance. This came out May 9th. This is pretty nuts. The CEO of one of the world's largest asset managers cautions that everyone should brace for even rougher days ahead. Now, we're 3 weeks away from another month of people paying rent who large portions of them can't because they're not working. And I know some people are getting unemployment and that's great. I haven't. I mean, even if you got your $1,200, what's that supposed to do? This guy might know a thing or two about this. I mean, he's one of the corrupt problems in this country, but BlackRock's chief executive Larry Fink, interesting last name, forecast a dour near-term outlook for the economy as states and businesses grapple with reopening from COVID-19. This is the thing I've talked about a lot. If you watch my MMT playlist, so the federal government can just issue currency and finance whatever they want. Local governments are dependent upon tax revenue and some money, and if they get any money from the federal government. So like take a state like California where I live. Well, tourism is shut down. All these companies are shut down. So the state of California makes its money on income tax and sales tax and property tax mainly, but mainly income and sales tax. So if nobody's working, income tax goes down. If nobody's buying anything, it is at a $53 billion shortfall, the state of California. And the state of California very wisely, several years ago under Jerry Brown, set aside an extra little tax thing to fund a rainy day fund for the state of California. We have $25 billion in an emergency fund for this very type of thing. That's great. But even that is not enough it still only takes care of half of the shortfall. So what's going to happen? And then when people, okay, sure, you can't get evicted or foreclosed upon, but some companies and landlords are not giving a shit about that. And even if you go back to work after not working for 3-4 months, you still have 3 or 4 months of back rent or mortgage. And how much debt is everyone having to rack up if they're not working? Fink, speaking privately with clients of a wealth advisory firm, privately, and they found out about it, outlined an unattractive future in which the economy continues to weaken, bankruptcies soar, and Americans' consumers taxes on corporations and individuals would eventually need to be raised to finance the trillions of dollars in economic aid that has been doled out by the government and the Federal Reserve. But just keep the 7 wars going. Yeah, just keep spending $800 billion a year on war. Just keep doing that. Keep giving the banks. Imagine if that $4.25 trillion didn't go to banks and big corporations, but it went to the states and to individuals. What if the federal government went to California and all 50 states, because all states are going to have some type of shortfall. California is probably going to be bigger because California has 45 million residents and it has the 5th largest economy in the world. But any state, Delaware, Omaha, Nebraska, whatever, it doesn't matter. Every state's going to have a shortfall. That's what the federal government should have done, gone, hey states, here's money for unemployment, to your services, to all this stuff. What are cities and states going to do? Oh, we can't afford to pay overtime for the police department or whatever. The city of Santa Monica that I live in, they're already talking about, they're having a city meeting about cutting services. This is a city with a decent amount of money, but one of its big revenue streams is tourism. It has all these nice hotels on the beach. They're empty, man. They have this big, nice outdoor mall in downtown, the 3rd Street Promenade. It's empty. Some of the stores are finally opening, but it's empty, man. 2 months, we've had the whole economy shut down. The outbreak leading to the biggest drop in gross domestic product in the first quarter since 2008. Indeed, the first reading of GDP for the first 3 months of 2020. 20.2 million jobs were lost in April. According to payrolls processor ADP Inc., down 0.9%. More than 30 million people have applied for jobless benefits in the past 6 weeks. That's almost 10% of the total population. There's about 330 million people living in America. But a lot of those people are not, they're under children, they're under 18, or they're retired, they're senior citizens. So that's, the workforce is probably, I don't know what, somewhere between 150 and 200 million people. Let's say it's 200 million people. This is over 10% of the population is completely out of work. I don't know what the total workforce is, but if it's 100, that's 20%. We're somewhere in the 20 percentile range. And just quick little sidebar on who BlackRock is. German police raid BlackRock offices. That was November 8th of 2018. Here's an article by Dave Dane, How BlackRock Rules the World. The planet's largest investment fund handles Mexico's pension funds and owns the companies that they invest in. Cozy, this is Dave Dane wrote this 2 years ago. I could do a whole segment on BlackRock and their corruption. They're a big part of the mortgage corruption of 10 years ago. So he probably had that secret meeting to go, wow, how can we capitalize on this? How can we scoop up small businesses? So there was Ron Placone and I had tour dates for almost all of 2020, from January all the way into October, progressive comedy tour dates. We've obviously had to reschedule a bunch of them, and we don't know when we're going to be able to go back on tour, but I'm telling you right now, a comedy, when we book like independent comedy clubs and rock clubs and bars with cool little performance spaces, and we try to find the whole thing about, we do our own ticketing typically. We try to find cool clubs that are down with us. We say, look, we can bring anywhere from 70 to 100 people into your club, and they're like, yes, and they get really pumped. The club in Seattle and the club in Boston called us to say they're closing the doors, they're out of business. They're done. Those are just 2 businesses on Ron and I's little tour. That's just a small glimpse into what is going to happen. It's already happening. What's going to happen 6 months, 9 months, 10 months from now? Even if we open the whole economy back up and COVID-19 doesn't come back and the numbers don't spike, I'd love to open things back up. I'm worried personally we're going to open up too soon, then the numbers are going to spike and they're going to have to shut everything down again. But even if they open things up, there's still going to be people who are going to be nervous about going out in a group or whatever. I don't know how comfortable I would feel until they get more information from the testing, until there's some type of like an antiviral medication that minimizes it. If you get really sick, they'll give you this and you're okay. You're down for a week, but that's fine. So when the head of this corrupt BlackRock is saying this, we should all be listening. And it's now more than ever the time for workers to gain control. Workers have more leverage now than you've ever had. Don't let these BlackRock folks and the federal government and the politicians, the Democrats and Republicans that are owned by companies like this. I did a video, a segment on all these companies that are like Levi Strauss and Stanley Black & Decker, laying off all these employees and then giving millions and tens and hundreds of millions of dollars in stock buybacks to the big shareholders. We have a broken system and it's going to screw us all over. You think what happened in 2010, the 6 million foreclosures, that's nothing. That's romper room compared to what's going to happen now. They're going to scoop up homes. They're going to scoop up small businesses. People are if they get COVID-19 and go to the hospital for 2-3 weeks, that's the other thing that's going to start happening. People went to the hospital, they survived it, they're better, they're doing better, and they had insurance. They're going to get a $10,000, a $20,000, a $30,000 medical bill in the next couple of months. And then what? They weren't working for 3 months. They haven't paid their rent in 2-3 months. Now they got $20,000 in medical bills with it having insurance. What's going to happen? Another bailout for Wall Street? When is Americans going to wake up? Something is wrong with the economic system of our nation. Something is wrong with capitalism. Maybe Americans must move toward a democratic socialism. We must develop programs that will drive the nation to the realization of the need for a guaranteed annual income. Dr. King, September 14th, 1966. When people are afraid, oh, socialism is bad, explain to them what it is. Don't get mad, don't argue, explain. Socialism is workers on the means of production. Democratic socialism that Dr. King is talking about is specifically about how your and my taxes pay for things and their social programs. Imagine right now if this federal government actually gave a damn about its citizens. It would have said everybody gets free health care, Medicare for all, we're doing that. We're not giving $4 trillion to the banks, we're giving everybody free health care, which is only about $80 billion, somewhere in that neighborhood. Everyone gets free health care. We're paying everybody's rent and mortgage for 3 months, and everybody's getting $2,000 a month UBI. Every adult, boom. People would have been fine. There would be no protest to go back to work. People are like, that's cool. We'll stay at home for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, whatever you need us to do. And everyone would be taken care of. I mean, like our government's got us, got our backs. But everyone's just scrambling up. You're on your own. That's what this government said. I've received one $1,200 stimulus check. I got that in May, and $1,000 in an SBA loan. That's it. That's it. Got turned down for unemployment. I just applied again May 1st, and I got something in the mail. I need to fill out another form, and I don't know what. I'm lucky I got a YouTube show, man. I'm lucky I'm on Rockfin. I'm lucky. I'm barely getting by on this, but at least I got something, because if I was dependent on the federal government, I would be screwed. If I was just a road comic, I used to be that. I'd go on the road 40 weeks a year. They would count all my, I'd be done. I got friends of mine that are road comics. They're scrambling. I got health insurance. I'm healthy. I take my vitamins and all this stuff, but I'm like, God, if I get this COVID and I'm in the hospital, I'm screwed. I'm not worried I'm going to die like I think I would, but if I just had to be hooked up to an event, I even just had to spend a week or two in a hospital, I'm going to get a $10,000, $20,000 medical bill. And then what? I went through bankruptcy and foreclosure 10 years ago when they stole my home, when the stimulus plan said, Graham, we're going to cut your, here's what they said. We'll put you on a forbearance, a 3-month forbearance. We're cutting your mortgage payment in half, and at the end of the 3 months, we're going to restructure your loan. That's what all this stimulus money that Bush gave and then Obama, and we're going to restructure your home, restructure your loan, and you're going to keep your home. We want to keep you in your home. And I was like, of course, the government stimulus, they're going to take care of me. At the end of the 3 months, they said, oh, you don't qualify. And now you owe us 3 months back pay because you only paid half payments. What? You told me to, sorry, now we took your home. They're going to do that again. They're going to do that again. This is like cops planting drugs in your car. They pull you over for a busted taillight, and then they drop a bag of heroin in the back of your car. Whoa, it's because you're driving a nice car and they want it. That's what the banks did. That's how they're doing it. Just do whatever they want. Thanks for watching the show, folks. Like, share, subscribe, sign up for rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. And you're making Gotham great again, folks. Boom. Hey, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.